Welcome to Patriot's IAS Academy. If you are new to our channel, please subscribe. Question number 1. In the context of Indian Constitution, which among the following rights are available to a person arrested under preventive detention law? Statement 1. Right to be produced before a magistrate within 24 hours of arrest. Statement 2. Right to consult and be defended by a legal practitioner. Statement 3. Right to be released after 24 hours unless the magistrate authorizes further detention. These are the options. C. The preventive detention refers to taking into custody an individual who has not committed a crime yet. Preventive detention refers to taking into custody an individual who has not committed a crime yet, but authorities believe him to be a threat to law and order. Right. Under section 151 of the CRPC, preventive detention is action taken on ground of suspicion that some wrong actions may be done by the person concerned. Such detention involves custody without any criminal trial. Moreover, these laws need not follow the procedural guarantees which are fundamental to the detention of an individual in normal course. A police officer can arrest an individual without orders from a magistrate and without any warrant if he gets any information that such an individual can commit any offense. Right. So these are all about preventive detention. This is about Article 22 of the Indian Constitution. Provides protection against arrest and detention in certain cases. Article 22 of Indian Constitution provides safeguards against the misuse of police powers to make arrests and detentions. Article 22 says every person who is arrested and detained in custody shall be produced before nearest magistrate within a period of 24 hours of such arrest, excluding the time necessary for the journey from the place of arrest to the court of the magistrate, and no such person shall be detained in custody beyond the said period without the authority of magistrate. So these are all about Article 22. See the difference between preventive detention and an arrest. An arrest is done when a person is charged with a crime. An arrest is done when a person is charged with a crime. An arrested person is produced before magistrate within 24 hours. In case of preventive detention, a person is detained as he or she is simply restricted from doing something that might deteriorate the law and order situation. Right. So, look at our statement. Right to produce before a magistrate within 24 hours of arrest. Right to consult and defend by a legal practitioner. Right to be released after 24 hours unless the magistrate authorizes further detention. All these statements are about the protection which is given to a person by the Article 22. It is not about preventive detention law. So the answer of question number 1 is D, none. Question number 2. Which among the following is our implications of judicial review in the Constitution? Statement 1, separation of power. Statement 2, supremacy of Constitution. Statement 3, parliamentary sovereignty. These are the options. See the statement 1. Separation of powers is based on the idea that no branch of government should be able to exert power over any other branch without due process of law. Each branch of government should have a check on the powers of the other branches of government, thus creating a regulatory balance among all branches of government. The judicial review ensures that legislature does not exert arbitrary power over the other branches. So the statement 1 is correct. Look at the statement 2. Supremacy of Constitution. Judicial review ensures supremacy of Constitution as it curtails arbitrary powers of the legislature to amend the Constitution. Right. So the statement 2 is correct. Statement 3. Parliamentary sovereignty. Judicial review is a check on the unlimited power of the legislature and is against the parliamentary sovereignty. The statement 3 is incorrect. So the implications of judicial review in the Constitution of India is separation of power, supremacy of Constitution. So the answer of question number 2 is B, 1 and 2. Question number 3. Which of the following manifest the principle of natural justice? Statement 1. Show cause notice given to an employee before taking departmental action against him. Statement 2. A judge sharing a litigation in which he has personal interest. Statement 3. A public notice showing the intention of acquiring land for public purpose by the government. These are the options. C. In India, the principle of natural justice are firmly grounded in Article 14 and 21 of the Constitution. There are some basic rules to the concept of principled justice. No person can be judged in his own case. Both sides must be heard before the judgment. There should be no bias, and the authorities should act honestly and in an impartial manner. Right. So the statement 2 is incorrect. So statement 1, show cause notice given to an employee before taking departmental action against him is correct. A public notice showing the intention of acquiring land for public purpose by the government is correct. So the answer of question number 3 is B, 1 and 3. Question number 4. Consider the following. Statement 1. Writ petition comes under the original jurisdiction of Supreme Court. Statement 2. The Supreme Court can delegate the writ jurisdiction to any other court in India. These are the options. C. The Supreme Court can issue writs only for the enforcement of fundamental rights. Supreme Court can issue writs only for the enforcement of fundamental rights under Article 32. Whereas High Court can issue writs under Article 226 and 226 for the enforcement of fundamental rights as well as for any other purpose, enforcement of ordinary legal rights as well. Right. So that's the difference between the writs power of High Supreme Court and High Court. So the statement 1, look at the statement 1. The writ petition comes under the original jurisdiction of Supreme Court. The statement is correct. Look at the statement 2. The Supreme Court can delegate the writ jurisdiction of any other court in India. See, under Article 32, it is the Parliament which empowers any other court to issue directions, orders and writs for all kinds without prejudice to above powers conferred on the Supreme Court. So Article 32 gives the Parliament which empowers any other court to issue direction, orders and writs of all kinds without prejudice. Right. So it is not with the Supreme Court. So statement 2 is incorrect. So answer of question number 4 is A, 1 only. Look at the last question, question number 5. Arrange the different landmark cases in chronological order. These are the cases and you have to select the correct option. See, Golkand case was 1967 Indian Supreme Court case in which the court ruled that Parliament could not curtail any of the fundamental rights in the Constitution. So it is 1967, and the Keshavananda Bharati case is a landmark decision of the Supreme Court of India that outlined the basic structured doctrine of the Indian Constitution. First one is Golkand case, second one is Keshavananda Bharati case, third one Maneka Gandhi versus Union of India was a landmark decision of the Supreme Court of India in which the court significantly expanded the interpretation of Article 21 of the Constitution of India. The Minerva Mill versus Union of India is a landmark decision of Supreme Court of India that applied and evolved the basic structured doctrine of the Constitution of India. Right. So Golkand case first, Keshavananda Bharati case second, Maneka Gandhi versus Union of India case was third, and the Minerva Mills versus Union of India is the fourth. So the answer for question number 5, the correct chronological order is A. First one is Golkand case, second one is Keshavananda Bharati case, third one is Maneka Gandhi case, fourth one is Minerva Mill case. So that's the all 5 questions. If you like the video, please subscribe our channel. Please share the video with your friends. Thanks for watching.